the Hello World smart contract with the possibility for the user to write his or her preferred message instead of Hello World. So as you remember, the Hello World was, I think the contract was initializing with the message Hello World. But instead of that, let the user input initialize the message with his or her own choice. And then also add a new function to remove the message. So previously we had set message and get message. But now I'm asking also to remove the message, to delete the message. Are you getting the idea? So instead of initializing with hello world, user inputs the message, initialization message. And then one extra function to remove the message. This is the subtask one. So this is basically the extension of Hello World, a smart contract. And then the next one is also similar. Extend the storage contract by removing the number, by adding the function to remove the number. Yeah. So you have the basic two codes. You just need to extend it. Please Google if you don't know. The instructions. Google and you will find. So I do not know if it will take 20 minutes, but you give a try, and when you are done, let me know. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. If you cannot solve the problem, I will give you the codes. I have those. But let's try first. You try first, and then after some time, I will give you the code. Yeah. How is it going? Anyone managed to do anything? The first problem managed to solve or
Yes, sir. First program done.
okay, okay.
Sir, done, sir.
Both
Done,
are
sir.
done. Both are
Both done,
done.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, both are. Oh, okay, very
It's
good.
just the first one. It's just the first.
Okay, okay. Then I wait for 10 more minutes. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, sir. In the second question, by removing the number means setting the number to zero or what, sir?
Yeah,
Removing the number.
yeah. Remove. Put it zero. Put it zero. That's fine. Make it zero.
Fine, sir. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how is it going? Everyone managed to do it?
Yes, sir, all done.
Okay. Okay. Still, I will, I'm going to send you the codes just in case if somebody didn't manage to do it. So that's why I will send my codes. Just a moment. Yeah. So this is for removing the message I just sent. And now I will send the next one, removing the number. Yeah, so this is removing the number. Yeah. Okay. Is there anyone? I think I will. Let me still wait a couple of more few more minutes because I gave the code now. So those who couldn't solve it, then use this code and then try in your local computer. So I'm going to wait a couple of more minutes. Three minutes more. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone managed to do it. Then I have few more tasks that we can do, but I'm thinking before doing these, maybe we can. I have few more tasks like this. But before that, I think it might be a good idea to talk a little bit, and then I try to cover the Hyperledger, and then I will again come back to this hands-on. Otherwise, it might be very boring. So let's now talk about some other things than writing codes, and then we will come back to these tasks, hands-on things, either today or if not, tomorrow. Okay. So I think now you know much about Ethereum, but another development platform is called Hyperledger. I really do not know why I'm not able to minimize this. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So Hyperledger is another development platform, and it is an open source collaborative effort created to advance cross-industry blockchain technologies. And it is hosted by the Linux Foundation. And Hyperledger provides you know, blockchain solution for enterprise or business use. And it is a collaboration of members from various industries, for instance, finance, banking, Internet of Things, supply chain, manufacturing, healthcare, and many more. So Hyperledger provides you. Can you mute, please? Mute, please. Yeah. Yeah. Mute. Please mute. Yeah. Thank you. So Hyperledger provides a neutral, open community around enterprise blockchain, supported by technical and business governance. And it also promotes the development and adoption of cross-industry platforms powered by distributed ledger. And not only that, it has this educational part also. It educates public about the market opportunity for business blockchain technology. So as you can see that Hyperledger can host enterprise-ready solutions. So it promotes a range of business blockchain technologies, and it provides you know, many tools to support the development of business applications. For instance, it provides you ready-made distributed ledger frameworks. It provides you smart contract engines, just like Ethereum. It provides client libraries, graphical interfaces, utility libraries, and sample applications, and so on. So the whole everything, whole ecosystem is there. So everything is provided. And they call it this whole thing. They call it this ecosystem is call it. They call it Hyperledger greenhouse. And as you can see in this greenhouse or in this ecosystem, I think Hyperledger has several different types of distributed ledgers. And it really depends which ledger to choose. Do you have any question? Okay, so yeah, please mute if you have no question. Yeah, so in Hyperledger, there are different types of ledgers, and depending on the type of applications, you choose the ledger. For instance, there are ledgers like Hyperledger Besu, Hyperledger Fabric, Indy, Sawtooth, and so on. And in this figure, you can even see, I think different ledgers have different types of use cases. For instance, if you are developing things related to decentralized identity, then most likely Hyperledger Indy would be a good choice. Then Hyperledger Iroha is about mobile application focus. And so on. And then under these different types of tools, you can see this Hyperledger Explorer, for instance. So Hyperledger Explorer helps you to find all the transactions or explore all the transactions in that blockchain. And then there are other tools like Hyperledger Cello, Hyperledger Caliper, and probably there are more tools and libraries by this time. I have not really followed that much. But the point here is that you have all the tools. So you just need to install it and create your environment for developing business applications. And if you go to this hyperledger.org website, you will find basically everything. So all tools, many use cases you will find, how to install, how to set up the environment. So basically everything you will find. And even example projects you will find. So there are quite a good amount of resources. Yeah. So we will not really do any coding or any development on Hyperledger, but as in the morning I told you that we will do it mainly on the Ethereum side. But then I just wanted to say that the Hyperledger is another option, and you can at your own time you can take a look about what Hyperledger has. But here a quick comparison of different blockchains: Hyperledger versus Ethereum versus Bitcoin. The slide is a little bit old, so I think at least the proof of the consensus algorithm of Ethereum has changed now. So it's not anymore proof of work, but proof of stake it uses. So just to mention that it has changed. So if you look at this, in terms of permission restrictions, Bitcoin is permissionless. Yeah, and then Ethereum is also can be permissionless. And then Hyperledger is mainly for permissioned blockchains. And Bitcoin, by default, it's public. As you know, anyone can participate. Ethereum, depending on the situation, depending on your application, you could make it public or private. Hyperledger applications are mostly private. In terms of consensus algorithm, as I told, that Bitcoin uses, this proof of work, and Ethereum uses nowadays proof of stake. Scalability. Scalability is, in Bitcoin, or of course, that the performance is very, very low, and it is not scalable. And for transactions to be validated in Bitcoin network, it needs hours, even days. So it's very slow. And why it is slow? Because of proof of work algorithm, and then of course the block size is small, 1 MB block size, and there you cannot really accommodate too many things. So, and then this mining competition is there. So altogether, it's not at all scalable. And in fact, probably the goal is to keep Bitcoin like this, that it will not be scalable, but only the big payments, very, very big payments, will be done by Bitcoin network. But then the other things will be for other things, other blockchain will be used. So Bitcoin is the kind of the gold. They want to keep the price, and it will be regarded as gold. In terms of Ethereum, I think a little bit more scalable, but still, I think it's not very much. The performance is not very high, like centralized systems. Can you mute, please? Can you mute, please? Yeah. Okay. And then for Hyperledger, it is Hyperledger, because they are by default private and permission blockchain, and they don't really use proof of work. I think it's scalable and performance is high. And of course, you can also take a look, about this anonymity. Bitcoin follows this pseudonymity thing, and then Ethereum also pseudonymity, and then Hyperledger. Of course, it is possible to have this pseudonymity, but of course, you can also know the participants. And yesterday, somebody was mentioning that Bitcoin doesn't have this scripting or smart contract facilities. Yes, you're right. It has limited possibility for scripting. But then Ethereum is all about smart contracts that we have already seen today. Some examples we have seen. And Solidity we have seen, and then in Hyperledger, for instance, Go language is used. Yeah. Let's have some kind of open discussion for some time. And then we will see if we would like to continue with the hands-on today or tomorrow. First, I'm going to ask you this thing, and let's have an open discussion about ideation of possible smart contract solution for potential business problems, through which you can have new business idea. So we will have an open discussion for some time. Whatever ideas you have, you can speak. And after that, last night I was thinking of possible some applications. I will just briefly mention them. I have not included them in my slides, but I have a Word file for that. But I will explain those here after we have a discussion. So please open your mic, and so you know about what is a smart contract, and you also know that with the help of a smart contract you can incorporate business logic. You can incorporate business logics in the smart contract. You can solve some problems, and that can create new business idea, right? So let's think of some possible business idea, or or how to solve some possible business problems. What kind of business problems we can solve? Okay, so open your mic and please give ideas.
So for a buy sale property website, we can use smart contracts.
Buying and selling property. Yes. And what is the benefit of it? Because let's say that we already have a kind of website where you can list possible properties, right? And but then we need a platform for buying and selling. So what kind of benefit it could bring?
So genuine buyers and genuine sellers, genuine buyers and genuine sellers, along with the seamless transaction, fast transaction.
Seamless transaction. Yeah, fast transaction. Yeah, buyers and sellers can be connected there. Seamless transactions. Yeah.
And if any property sold once, it cannot be sold more than one time. Means currently in the current era, we can sold the owner can sell houses to two different entities. But if it is based on smart contracts, then he can only sell the house to only one seller or one buyer, and then the smart contract will be executed and the transaction will be closed.
Yeah. Okay. And what other benefit it could have? Can you think of any other benefit of such use case? For instance, intermediary here, most likely.
Yes, no middleman.
Yeah, no middleman. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Brokerage charges will be saved.
Yeah. Okay. This is good. This is good. You are to some extent right. But now let's think of this thing also, because we do business. We try to solve problems, but at the same time, we want to make money. So business is about making money, right? So if we develop such a smart contract or develop such platform for buying and selling, then the thing is, who is going to make money and how? Okay, so let's say buyers and sellers are connected, and they do the transactions with the help of Ether or whatever. But how you as a businessman, you as an entrepreneur would benefit out of it, make money out of this kind of platform?
So whenever a transaction is executed, there is a small gas fee is charged.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So a small gas
and
fee.
also yes, sir. And also we can offer a little brokerage, means 0.1% of the transaction amount or 0.01% of the transaction amount to both the buyers and sellers, which will be benefited for us.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So as you see, so here there is no middleman, true. But then you as a company, you as a new entrepreneur, you somehow develop the system or platform and then asking for, let's say, 0.1% of something. So you are kind of a new type of middleman, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. And this is the point I wanted to make. So as you can see, and still also there are a lot of research showing that blockchain surely removes the middleman in one way, but then you try to become a new type of middleman. So basically, the business logic is somehow changing. So instead of you try to become a different type of intermediator. Yes. Okay. Okay, but this is one use case. Okay, good, very good. Thank you very much. And can you can you mute yourself, please? Hello? Hello, can you mute yourself? SN? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So now we have one business idea to some extent. Can anyone else give some other ideas? Please open your mic and then give some ideas. Yeah, anyone? Mm-hmm. No idea? There could be many ideas around this. Some platform where two parties interact, two parties do some business. You face such things every day. Okay, no idea. You can the idea might not be too good, but it's still okay. Here we will just discuss and then try to think very broad. Because ultimately, I think last day will be talking about jobs and problem solving with blockchains. So I think this broader idea, broader conceptualization is very important. So conceptualizing a new business around blockchain would be something very valuable. So let's just bring the idea, no problem. The idea could be bad, it's okay. Okay, no problem. Then I will give you some ideas. I don't have those in my slides, but uh, let me read it. I have noted down somewhere. Yeah, just give me a few minutes. Yes. one idea that I was thinking. I have, and these are all my thoughts from my day-to-day life. So I have, for instance, many insurances. I have insurance for the family for their medical insurance. I have home insurance, and then I have travel insurance, and so on. And the travel insurance, for instance, covers things like flight delays and lost luggages and so on. And then when I apply, let's say something has happened, maybe I have lost my bag or flight has been delayed, or family members are sick, and I went to the doctor, and then I paid the money, and now I want to claim. So the claiming process sometimes are a little difficult. So little difficult in a sense that you apply for this claim, and then some humans will at some point check all the things, and then after, let's say, a week or so, or even sometimes several weeks, ultimately they will pay you back. And in the process you need to add different documentations. For instance, maybe medical certificate, or if the flight is delayed, some papers about that, and so on. So I was just thinking that maybe this whole thing can be done using some kind of smart contract. So a decentralized platform, insurance claim platform, can be developed. Uh, like and you will get the payment once these predefined conditions are met. For instance, if based on your contract or insurance contract, it is if your flight get delays, then you will be paid. So if this kind of predefined rules are met, then automatic fund transfer happens. Yeah. And not only that, it could be even much advanced, because smart contracts can read data from outside of the blockchain. For instance, it can monitor, as I was telling in the electricity example, that it can monitor the price of electricity, the price of electricity market. So similarly, it can monitor, for instance, flight delays, the flight schedules, and if there are some flight delays, it automatically monitors. And if that is fulfilled, and then the person has insurance, valid insurance for that, I mean, no need even to apply for insurance. It will be automatically done. Like flight delays have happened, it is confirmed, and so automatically payment is done to the person who is holding the insurance. So something like that. I'm not really explaining it in a way with this exact thing, but this is somehow the overall idea that an insurance platform, decentralized insurance platform, claim platform could be developed, and then you can avoid the manual error, and then make the process much faster, and automation is there. So something like that. Then the other idea that I had also, same, the one that you just mentioned, someone just mentioned, about this buying and selling of property. Yeah. And during this buying and selling via this smart contract, then you can remove the intermediaries like lawyers or real estate agents.
Sir,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Previously, you have explained about the insurance example, right, sir? So, how will you make a customer believe you? Because when using this blockchain technology, it is a decentralized thing, sir. So, how can a customer believe you? Because there is no governing body. So, if something,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
who the customer can ask?
Yeah. Yeah. These are the challenges these are the governance challenges. And these are the big problems of blockchain-based systems. This is really the big problems. And there are different governance mechanisms that I'm going to explain tomorrow. However, it is really a valid question that will they believe? Yes, they will believe in a way that the data is right, the data cannot be tempered. But let's say if something happens, who to blame them? And that kind of person is not there. But in centralized system, you can blame someone that, okay, this is your fault. That's why it happened. But in this type of decentralized system, who to blame if something goes wrong? And tomorrow I will also cover that this is also very much important from the regulation point of view. And from the regulations point of view, regulatory, the law says that if something happens, then there should be some coordinator, some administrator whom you can need to ask. But here in the blockchain-based system, you do not really have that kind of central entity. So whom to designate as the contact point? So your question is right, but then again, this governance happens in terms of in the blockchain. So that's why it is trustworthy. However, if something wrong happens, then who to blame and that kind of thing we will discuss tomorrow uh, about assigning roles and responsibilities in the community. There I will explain. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes. And then uh, uh, blockchain is hugely used. I would say most of the use cases that that we encounter, they are about supply chain. Most of them. And this is quite natural because in supply chain, this traceability and transparency of goods or the products uh, are needed. And then there in this supply chain, different actors like 10, 15, 20 companies or actors or organizations uh, participate in the whole supply chain network. So that's why I think blockchain is one of the. I mean, blockchain is used hugely in supply chain. And how smart contracts can help, because smart contracts can automate every step of the supply chain. For instance, from raw material sourcing to delivery. So and then as the product is moving through the supply chain, each of the information, whether it is about some quality check or some shipment, I think everything can be stored in the blockchain. So this is how you can get real-time visibility, and then also it ensures the accountability, and of course traceability is there. And not only that, in our university, I have a PhD student. She's doing, she's working in this blockchain and supply chain, but she's mainly looking at if you try to increase the traceability and transparency of your, let's say, of your product, and then you claim that your product has been developed in a sustainable way, will the consumer like us, believe more and then buy more, pay more for such product? Because if you want to prove that, okay, some people really want to consume only sustainable products, right? And for them, they want to see that the product is really sustainable. So this means that product has been developed in a sustainable manner. It has materials that have been used, which are sustainably sourced. No unethical things are there. And if you can prove through the use of blockchain that the cloth that you are wearing is coming from good practices, responsible practices, sustainable practices, will you pay more for such product? So that kind of thing, that kind of research that PhD student is doing. And I said that smart contracts can be used to trace, to trigger, all these events, and then logs the events, how it is sourced, how the raw materials have been sourced, and the shipment, quality check, everything. So the supply chain is, and then supply chain, especially in the sustainability context, sustainable practices, is another use case or business idea that you could think of. However, a lot of work is needed. I mean, I'm just giving you very, very rough and broad ideas. So always when you are making some business ideas, so ultimately what you need is to how to make the money. What is the business model? That is the point. What is the business model? At the end, you want to make money. So that you need to think. Okay. Then another thing I was thinking about our payroll system. For instance, our salary system, right? So let's say that there are some employees who are hourly employees, and maybe your salary also depends on monthly performance or something like that, or maybe monthly completion of some kind of task or some performance. So that can be predefined, that your income for this month will be based on the hourly rate, the performance, and some other things. Now what happens is this, that every month maybe you need to manually submit, how many hours you have done, and someone needs to go through those documents and then somehow, calculate it manually and measure the performance and so on. So so a lot of manual work is there. So how about developing some kind of payroll system, payroll system where uh, where you can automate the payments using smart contracts if some predefined terms have been fulfilled. For instance, hourly rate, performance, and so on. So that kind of thing could be is another example. that you can think of? Again, is there a market for such kind of system? And do you really need blockchain for that kind of system? That's also a big question. Is there a market for it? Can we make money out of it?
Yes, sir. Currently, NFTs are doing.
Yeah, NFTs. You mean NFT? You mean NFT?
Yes, sir. NFTs.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but NFTs didn't really get that popular. I mean, it started like very, it started like anything, many things happened, but then things didn't really progress as expected. I think this whole blockchain thing is such
Yes.
that it didn't really progress much.
Yes.
However, I'm now expecting things might change, especially with the new US government. And Elon Musk has been proposing that they will use blockchain for this government spending and some governmental systems they will use. So maybe next 5 years we will see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Then again, another thing I was thinking about some developing some kind of voting platform. So, for instance, you can develop smart contracts to create tamper-proof voting systems where votes could be securely recorded and automatically counted. And then in the smart contract, you can also, based on the person's age, citizenship, you can verify if the person is eligible to vote or not. So the voting system, again, uh, could be one example, but the point is, will that create money, or will that create, solve any big problems that we are having? Maybe, or may not be, maybe. So that is something you as an entrepreneur need to think. Uh, then uh, one thing became very popular, making anything. I mean, tokenizing anything, tokenizing any real asset have become really popular. For instance, you have a real estate and you want to tokenize it, and then you want to trade it in fraction. So, and then you just own certain portion of it. For instance, you probably have you cannot really afford a full apartment, but you want to buy really part of it. So let's say 10 people, invested and bought one apartment. So here, what you have just, tokenized the real apartment, one apartment, but 10 people are the owners. So you are just owning one small share of the apartment. So you have the ownership of fractional ownership you have. And this kind of, let's say, this kind of ownership, this kind of buying, let's say, with 10 different people can be agreed with a smart contract. The smart contract will be deployed on blockchain, where it will show who is owner of which part of that apartment. And then if somebody wants to sell, it also happens by that. And if something happens, some problems happens, you don't need a lawyer because you can see all the data what happened in the blockchain. So this tokenizing any asset, any real asset, It's not about just digital asset. Any real asset, real life physical asset, have become, can be tokenized. Any real asset can be tokenized. Then you could also think about this, intellectual property protection and licensing. That could be another example, intellectual property protection and licensing. So you can create some smart contract-based platform to register and license intellectual properties. For instance, patents, trademarks, copyright protection. In fact, at my university, we actually started a project related to that with Huawei, with Chinese company Huawei. However, later, we decided not to continue because of this political reason. Collaboration with Chinese is not good for the West, so we had to drop that. But Huawei was very interested in such platform. Yeah. And then smart contracts could be automatically executed for the licensing agreements and enforcing royalty payments based on its usage. The way this licensing works could be implemented in the smart contracts. And then also not only the licensing, but then the payment can be done also to the right person, right holders, right person. Yeah. And then this is as said that this was a good use case that we tried, but we didn't really go much farther. Then yesterday I also mentioned that we tried this other use case where we were saying we are asking the universities to use our service. So we developed the certificate verification platform where we can verify the certificates of foreign students or local students. So they don't need to go to the ministry and then you don't need to send emails to the universities to verify and so on. And then this use case can be even extended for job applicants. So when you apply, for instance, to some other company, how do they verify that you have really worked in your previous company, or maybe just whatever you did? The certificate that you have submitted, or experience letter that you have submitted, or recommendation letter that you have submitted may be fake. How to verify really? So for that kind of thing also, maybe an application, smart contract based application could be developed. And for that, even we thought that we can just develop it as just a plugin and then add it on LinkedIn. And then maybe LinkedIn could just put a verify mark on top of your experience that okay, this is verified. This experience is verified, blockchain verified. So we thought we developed the platform, and then we even thought that maybe if we can continue, and then we could somehow we could approach LinkedIn, and then maybe it could be just an additional service in addition to what LinkedIn has. So that kind of thinking we had, but as said that we got quite good amount of money, but then it was done by PhD students and postdoc researchers, but they are more interested in conducting research rather than investing more time in entrepreneurship. So nobody was really interested to continue after we developed the proof of concept. And I also didn't have much time due to my job, so I didn't really do much. So we have the proof of concept, and that's it. We didn't establish the company or didn't do anything more than that. But that's also a possibility. Yeah, and then another application could be, for instance, uh, you know, crowdfunding. Crowdfunding could be based on and then automated payments. And for that, maybe you could have a smart contract, and you can define that, okay, if the project achieves such some milestone, only then payment will happen. These funders will fund. Otherwise, they won't fund. So some project milestones need to be there, some predefined project milestone. And if the milestone is achieved, then the funds are automatically released or sent to the project owner. Otherwise, no. So that kind of system or platform could also be developed. Yeah. Or even let's say that payment has been done, but milestone has not been achieved, and you as a project owner agreed that if I don't achieve the milestone, I need to pay back. So the smart contract will check, and if milestone is not achieved, then the money goes back to the funder's account. So that kind of system could be built. Yeah. Then another thing could be that there could be peer-to-peer peer-to-peer financial services. For instance, lending and borrowing. So now we borrow money, we take money from the bank, we'll take loan from the bank. How about making a platform where we can loan money, we can make loans peer-to-peer. So, and it can be done by the smart contracts. The loan agreement is done by the smart contracts between the lenders and borrowers. And you can decide in the smart contract what could be the interest rate, what kind of payment schedule you have, and if you don't follow the payment schedule, what will happen. So if you don't repay on time, what will happen? So basically everything that you have between you and the bank can be done peer-to-peer. And then it can be stored in the blockchain. The smart contracts can be stored in the blockchain. Okay. And then there are different this freelancing website, and also there is many sharing economy platform. For instance, Uber, sharing economy platform, and this micro work people do for Uber or freelancing platform. So many of the things can be done using blockchain. So for instance, a platform can be created where freelancers and clients can agree to contracts that are automatically enforced via the smart contracts. And then the freelancers and clients, they sign the contract. And the contract has some predefined terms. For instance, when the payment will happen. Is it after the whole project completion, or in the middle, or at the beginning? What kind of schedule you will follow? And if you don't follow, what will happen? So all these logics could be built in the smart contract. And then smart contracts will be executed if the conditions are met. Okay. So Avinav, you have a question? You have raised your hand. Okay. No. Okay. And then another thing that came to my mind, which I also discussed a couple of years ago, it's about donations. Donations for a charity purpose. And I had a discussion with I forgot the NGO's name now, a Finland-based NGO. They are active in Africa. So we had a discussion that they are trying to develop some blockchain-based systems in Africa, and for the donations. So from that, I just quickly thought that you can build a smart contract-based platform that automates charity donations, ensuring that the funds are transparently distributed to others. And then, in the platform, what happens when someone donates for a cause, the smart contracts can ensure that funds go directly to the charity, and based on these predefined rules and so on. But then again, in all these problems, all these business cases that I have explained so far, you always need to think, where is the money? How do you create money? You solve a problem, that is one thing. But if it is a business, then how do you make money? Yeah. Okay. So I have given you many ideas. What do you think? Do you have some other more ideas, or you think some of these ideas you could somehow sharpen them more, and think about those? Or even you could think, the ideas that I have given, you could try to write very small, simple, smart contracts, and then putting the logic. For instance, this lending and borrowing logic, you can put and write a very simple smart contract. You don't need to
Yes, sir, we will.
make the yeah Avinav. Yeah. So yeah. So what I'm saying, that maybe if you are interested to write codes, then you can take the ideas that I have told you and try to write very simple smart contracts out of these ideas, and then later, slowly you can input more rules and logics, business logics, and so on. If you are very much entrepreneur minded person, then you can think how to sharpen these ideas more, and to really look at if there are some businesses around it. Yeah, but what do you think? Do you have any other ideas you can think of?
Yeah, but currently Ethereum does not fit in the business. How to make money? It is the question.
So I didn't get it. Ethereum doesn't?
How to make business from it?
Yeah, that's the million dollar question. That's the million
Yes.
dollar question, like how to make money. I think, there are many use cases, but then when it is about making money, then you need business people to think. I like, when we did our business case, for instance, this certificate verification platform. Technically we did everything. We could do everything technically, but then we completely failed to make money. I mean, how to make money? We couldn't really solve that puzzle. Uh, First of all, who pays? Is it the job seeker who is going to pay, or the company who is going to recruit going to pay, or who is going to pay? So that kind of thing we couldn't really solve. And then we did some market research. We asked HR managers, we asked individual job seekers if they are willing to pay for such things. We got really mixed results. And of course, the results also vary depending on country to country. So what I'm saying, that how to make money, you need to understand the market. You need to understand the market. You need to do market research, market survey, market research. You need to understand the market. It's just not just solving the problem. So we basically did very thorough market research. We identified what kind of competitions are there, and there are some certificate verification platform. Only few are them blockchain based, and most of them are not. But we realized that the market is very thin, very small. So then we decided that we will not make big money out of it. So then we just thought that it's just too much work. So we couldn't really. So this is really the $1,000,000 question when you write a business plan. So you solve the problem, true, but you need to show how to make money, and there you have more bigger problems, and that's why many startups are there who solve the problem, but ultimately do not get the success because their business creation, or money creation or value creation or money creation or business model is not a strong one. Yeah. Okay. Any more question? Any more thoughts?
No, sir. Sir, can we continue tomorrow from now?
Yeah. I will now end. Almost. I did
I
almost
would like to
now.
request the same, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we will continue then tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow we will do some hands-on again, and then we will continue. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. So I think tomorrow we start at 6.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello,
Bye-bye.
hello,
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
hello.
Thank you,
Hello.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable knowledge. And I am sharing link for the attendance in chat box. So all of you, please fill it down.